Hello everyone and welcome back to Full Throttle. So, in the previous episode we started off getting some things together to jump the gorge. Reason being that we need to do that is because to get to Corley Motors we have to get over the bridge, which blew up when Emmett blew up in his truck. Now we have these cavefish goggles. What we need to do is drive around here and you will see at the bottom left. There we go. When it says cave, you just exit there. And that's all we need to do to get into this cavefish cave. Now this was one of the scenes which was in the playable demo of Full Throttle that I had when it first came out in '95. And I just remember this scene so distinctly. So here's the ramp that we need. Now if you remember earlier on, we were told by Father Talk that the cavefish navigate by detecting the cat's eyes on the road. And you can see there is a clue there what happens when he rolls the ramp. One of the cat's eyes gets flicked off from the road surface. So we'll attach the ramp onto the bike. And if we go back to the previous screen, over this way, there is this fence here on the bend. So what we need to do is, because if we try and get out of the cave now, the cavefish will come and fuck us up. So we need to use the ramp here, like so.
I'm done with these boys.
Okay. I think that's everything we need now. We have the hover thing, we have the booster, and we have the ramp. So we can jump the gorge, theoretically. Take your time, Ben. Come on, man. Now I see why you ride a bike around everywhere. Ugh. Come on. There we go.
Alright, I've modified my bike enough.
Nice. Now here we are at Corley Motors, and the first thing we need to do here is to go down this way to the right into the stadium.
Souvenirs here. We got your hats. We got your pennants. Sure. Take it for a spin. Just don't go out of range.
So
we got it all right here.
Control this radio control car here.
Motors merchandise.
Looks like it's getting weak.
Oh, great. You killed the batteries. Drive your own derby car by remote control.
Excuse me, but are those shirts, are they all cotton?
Well, let's just see here. "100% cotton."
Oh, that's too bad. I'm allergic to cotton.
Our bunnies come with batteries included.
Alright, So actually, the last thing that he said there is a big clue to what we're doing here. The reason why we stole that battery-operated mechanical bunny is so we can get batteries to power
I don't walk.
Yeah. Batteries to power the RC car again. And the way we do that is if we go over here to the vulture's hideout.
There's the vulture's hideout on the other side of this field. I've heard a lot about the vultures. And I guess it's all true.
So there's a
Those
minefield
weapons
here.
were a lot of weight.
Use the bunny. And we'll watch him go. Thank you very much, and now we can take the battery, which apparently is still perfectly intact in spite of the bunny being destroyed quite utterly by a mine. So there's a bit of back and forth stuff in this section of the game, but we should be able to get through it fairly easily. This is a ridiculously easy game, and a ridiculously short game as well. We're actually not that far off the end of the game, believe it or
Lovable,
not.
lovable little bunnies. The officially licensed bunny of the Corley Motors Smashatorium. We got your t-shirt.
That should put some life into it.
Sure, sure. Take it for a spin. Just don't go out of range. All sizes and colors. Okay, that's far enough, bud. Hey, don't go in there. Now look what you did. The entrance is all the way through the factory. Hang on, little buddy. Daddy's coming.
Now it's just me and the bunnies.
So we can take a box of 12 bunnies, which we of course can let loose on the minefield to destroy all the mines so that we can get over to the vulture's hideout. However, as with all classic graphic adventure games, it's not quite as simple as that. When I was...
don't walk.
He got off his bike again. When I was young, this next puzzle had me stuck for absolutely ages. I just couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing, basically. But it is actually very straightforward.
The minefield's been replanted. Tidy little vultures.
So what we actually need here is 2 boxes of bunnies. That will provide enough cannon fodder, as it were, to clear a path over the minefield. However, in order to get the guy to restock the bunnies in his little kiosk, what we need to do is to let them all loose, and then pick them up again, which means that we have to pick them all up one by one, which kind of sucks. But the trick is obviously to get them before any of them get blown up, because otherwise it can jank the puzzle. Alright.
Dang, there goes another value pack.
So, we can go back here and he should have restocked them. Yep, And he's still off chasing that RC car around. Cute. So once again, back we go. I think this is the last time we have to go backwards and forwards here. Sky looks really cool on that in this general area. A kind of Mad Max futuristic version of California. So we'll set the box of 12 going for a start. And we'll sit and watch these guys on their mission. Okay, so you can see by the sort of tracks they've left behind, the general kind of part of the minefield which they have cleared, and that's the part we can safely walk up.
No.
So we want to go right to the end.
I hate surprises. No.
I think that's as far as he'll go. Now we need to set these off one by one, which kind of sucks. The kind of music box version of Charge of the Valkyries is quite good. That sounds way better in the remastered soundtrack than in the original. That should be enough.
That's the guy I was telling you about, Susie.
You sure?
Yeah, that's the guy who killed my father.
All right, vultures, rack 'em up.
Let's rip him quick.
Listen, Mo, you're making a big mistake.
Oh, Ben, you're right. We shouldn't do this quickly. We should draw this out, don't you think, Susie?
Hey, I got all night. You heard her, kids. Let's draw this out.
Your father.
Don't you dare talk about my father, you heartless bastard.
Let me go, or else
Or else what?
I'll call you names.
Ooh, like what?
So the name you need to call her is of course Diaper Dynamo, which is the one that Corley said to Ben when he was killed.
Diaper Dynamo.
How? Where'd you hear that name?
Your father. He told me just before he died.
You bludgeoned my father and then talked about old times?
I didn't kill him. Ripburger did. A photographer took pictures, but her camera was stolen by the same thug that came after you.
I still have that roll.
Well, develop it, would you? While I still fit in my clothes?
Okay, you stay here.
Hey.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, don't sweat it.
I'm gonna get Ripburger even if I die trying.
No, we have to expose Ripburger at the shareholders meeting. That way, we take him down, we save my gang, and your father gets his dying wish. You take over Corley Motors.
Ripburger canceled the shareholders meeting. He made a statement to the press that there'd be no meeting until the murderers were brought to justice.
So, No shareholders meeting until we're both dead?
That could be arranged.
Okay, so here we go. Faking Ben and Maureen's death. Act 1, Scene 1. Adrian Ripburger, in a desperate attempt to lure our Maureen out of hiding, has developed the following lame-ass scheme. First prize at tonight's smash-up derby is a vintage hardtail that Mo restored with her dad. Rip hopes Mo will try to nab said bike on account of her sentimental attachment to it. So Ben and Mo play along, put on disguises, and enter the demolition derby, which ends tragically when their cars explode and both are presumed dead.
Question.
Please save your questions until the end. Now, the explosives in Mo's car can only be triggered by a head-on collision with Ben's car. This ejector seat projects Mo clear of the explosion, and she parachutes to safety.
Don't you think someone will notice her ejecting out of her car?
No, they'll all be watching you running around on fire.
Yeah, that's another question I have.
When your car explodes, you climb from it in flames and run around the stadium distracting the audience. In your cute little asbestos suit, of course.
That's some plan.
All right then, let's go blow you little darlings up.
All right, folks. Hang on to your chili dogs, cause it's time to start. The Corley Motors Smashatorium Amateur Driver Ultimate Destruction Maximum Carnage Marathon. Let's meet our crash cage gladiators. That mysterious-looking hooded figure wouldn't give us his real name. He prefers to be known as the Unknown Avenger. And that's just fine with us, isn't it, folks?
Oh, now I'm just embarrassed for them. Who do they think they're fooling with those ludicrous disguises?
And next to him is another masked newcomer. Please give a big Smashatorium salute to the Princess of Pile-Up, Doreen Schmorley.
All right, boys. Sick 'em.
And finally, we have a last-minute addition to the lineup tonight. A deadly-looking team known as the Boom Boom Brothers.
Try and get away now, bicycle boy.
All right now, are you ready to see some reckless driving? Are you ready to see some unnecessarily violent destruction? Then let the Demolition Derby begin.
What I'm going to do just before this starts is very, very quickly just turn down the sound effects a little bit here. Now I know that it's probably going to be alright, but just so it doesn't drown out my voice.
Where are you, Ben?
Hang on, Mo. Here I come.
So this section is a little bit annoying. Well, I find it somewhat annoying. It is a bit of a puzzle, and you can control this with the keyboard or mouse. I find it a little bit easier with the keyboard. If you go over the left ramp...
That car stalled when I bounced off the roof. Looks like these babies have a glass jaw.
There we go. Then you stall the orange car. What you need to do as quickly as you can is knock the car down this way. And that's not going fast enough.
Ben, what are you doing? Get over here and nail me.
You dirty devil. There'll be plenty of time for that later. Now, I might need this. Might take a few attempts because I really suck at this part. But if you get him down to the bottom right, and then up like this, get the angle right, you can get him. There we go, onto this ramp, over the ramp, and then you can jump over him, and that gives you enough give.
Okay, Boom Boom Brothers. It's all over.
To land on the Boom Boom Bros.
Get him! What are you doing? Are you taking a nap? Idiots.
Okay, Mo. Time for our big finale.
Do it!
Now that's an explosion, ladies and gentlemen. Can't see any survivors. Wait, what's that? It's the Unknown Avenger, and he's on fire! Let's give him a hand, folks. That looks painful. We really should put him out right away, but what a show, huh?
Ben, quit clowning around and make a diversion.
I am a diversion.
No offense, but we need a bigger one. The bike is guarded.
Who cares about the bike?
Mo says it's important, so we're not leaving without it.
All right, I'll see what I can do, but I'm burning at both ends here.
So, what we need to do here is run up and down the edge.
Ben, you gotta make a big diversion. We ain't leaving without that bike.
No.
You can run up and down the edge of the stadium here and set it all alight.
Well, we should put him out, don't you think? Well, okay, you heard him, Avenger.
Once you've set enough fires,
Well, folks, it looks like the party's getting a little out of hand. The stadium seems to be catching fire, but let's all remain calm and... Yeah, you're right. The derby's over. Run for your lives!
Finally. Now, squish that firefly while he's hot.
Look at him run.
okay, so what we're doing now is if we jump down from the car, it baits them to charge like this, and then we can jump onto their car like so. And then we wait for them to get down here a little bit. That should do it, and we jump off and go into the remains of Ben's car, this ball of fire, and that should be the end of that.
What happened? Did you get him?
We finally got him, Bolus. That means Ripburger has to make us vice presidents now, like he promised, and give us 10,000 shares of stock each. Funny smell? What's that? The temperature light?
Well, on the bright side, I just made 20,000 shares of stock. Time to start the shareholders meeting.
Where's the hardtail?
All over the floor, Mr. Avenger.
What? What happened to your deep sentimental attachment to your father's vintage bike?
Ben, it's just a bike. I can put it back together in about a half an hour. That's assuming, of course, I can find that key.
What key are you talking about?
Key to my dad's safe. I remember he hid it somewhere on this bike, but I've looked everywhere and I can't find anything that even looks like a key.
What's in the safe that's so important?
My dad's will. I'm counting on him to tell the truth about me, finally.
Why did he keep you a secret all these years?
He didn't want people to find out about my mom.
What's so bad about Mrs. Corley?
She wasn't my mom.
Ah. But how are we going to get in the factory?
In the back of the factory, there's a secret entrance that leads straight into Dad's office. He used to sneak me in so I could help him with his bike designs.
When he got too old to do all the work himself?
Nah, this is back when I was 6.
Alright,
I'll see what I can do.
Right.
first of all we look at these bike parts. And you can see there is a number here, 154492. That's the number we need. That's the key to the safe.
Here, take the photos. I don't want them. Show them to someone important if you get a chance.
Now we'll go around the back here. And this is where the secret entrance is. This rock here, which looks a little bit lighter than all the others, the one with like a little sort of lighter bit on top of it. What we need to do is kick that rock at the point that all of these things stop like that and align. Okay. And that should be us sorted. There we go. And we can go in. So the safe itself is on the floor here. And this looks very Blade Runner-ish. It looks like a Tyrell Corporation. So we'll pop the number in.
There's some sort of card. A tape. I sure hope that's Corley's will.
Okay. Next is... This is behind the scenes of his shareholders meeting. So in this room it's like the lighting and controls for his presentation. And in this room is his mechanic, who is controlling what's going onto the slides on the projector behind him. So what we can do first is use this key card on there.
Cool. Looks like the meeting started.
Was not only an inspirational leader, but also a great personal friend. His loss affects us all deeply. Malcolm and I spoke often of the future. We talked of a day when Corley Motors would move beyond its humble beginnings into a new vehicular age. And although his tragic death took him from us sooner than anyone expected, Malcolm Corley's dream remains. And I shall carry out that dream in his memory. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you the future of Corley Motors. The Corley Minivan.
Corley was right. I never dreamed it would actually come to minivans, though.
So there's controls here. There's lighting controls and motor controls, and this is somewhat reminiscent of the puzzle from the very beginning of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis with the controls on the theatre stage. What we need to do is get this one to the very top, and this one to the very bottom, and then bail.
What you see before you right now is my vision for Corley Motors.
Oh, perfect.
This is a disaster.
You're telling me we're gonna have some major downtime here. Why don't you tell a joke or something?
I don't know any jokes. You know, this reminds me of an amusing anecdote about
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Fail. And man, Rittberger really does lack basic charisma. We're terrible at giving presentations. So all that's left to be done now to clear Ben's name is to feed the photos and the will into the presentation.
Now, this next slide shows our new, more aggressive corporate strategy. Huh?
Hello there. If you're hearing this, I must have croaked. Well, people gotta move on, you know, and make room for other people. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. I've made room for someone else to take my place at Corley Motors. And it ain't that embezzling crook Adrian Rittberger. Rip, you don't belong at the head of my company. You belong in jail. I let that man talk me into far too many things. Like keeping my daughter a secret. He was wrong. I was wrong. I should have stood by her. I hope, Maureen, that you forgive me, and that you take over Corley Motors and run it however you see fit. All right, that's enough. How do I turn this damn thing off?
I'm sorry you had to hear that tape from one of Malcolm's psychiatric sessions. Near the end, he suffered many paranoid delusions. He was haunted by powerful forces of his own creation.
And here's one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maureen Corley, and do I have a heck of a story for you. By the time I'm done, you'll see why this man should be in jail. Hey! Where'd he hobble off to?
Uh-oh. There he goes.
And then he sent his goons after me.
Run, Ripburger. When it's time to find you, we'll just follow the shiny trail.
Yes, of course we'll have daycare facilities. Any other questions? Oh, speak of the devil. Come over here, Ben. Isn't this great, Ben? We're finally where we were meant to be all along.
So, after we pick up your bike, we'll go get my gang out of jail.
And then find out why my gang never showed up to help us.
And then you go business suit shopping.
Don't remind me.
Don't complain. You're going to be rich.
At this point, I'd settle for just a little peace and quiet.
She interrupted my speech, Ben. She really shouldn't have. I was just about to talk about the inherent dangers of motorcycle operation. Huh? What?
Can't you make this damn thing go any faster?
Awesome. So here we are. So this is quite similar to the end of The Road Warrior. It's also quite similar to the best scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and quite a lot of Mad Max Fury Road, which I think is one of the best films to come out in years and years. Anyway, I digress. First of all, we're going to open this grill. And the next thing we're going to do is, if we flip up this panel, you will see Ripburger sticks his cane out and we can grab it.
My cane!
You'll need more than a cane when I'm through with you, Ripburger.
And we use Rip's cane to stop the fan in the engine.
Cool.
And then Ben emerges at the back of the engine compartment. Next thing we do is use our tyre iron to cut the right-hand fuel line.
No one sneaks up on me from behind.
I thought you said this thing couldn't move.
I said it couldn't fly. I never said it couldn't taxi.
Well, flying would be nice since we're headed for the gorge.
Ripburger, you're going to kill all of us.
Shh, Ben, don't ruin the ending.
How do you stop this thing?
From the cockpit.
So we go up to the cockpit.
Doc!
Careful, Ben!
That was lucky. Go up to the cockpit here.
So much for the controls. I could have used those.
And you'll see the screen in the middle here has somehow survived. So if we use this, what we need to do here is to deactivate the landing gear. So we go to landing, runway landing, I think, manual controls. Nope, not that one. Takeoff, post takeoff, gear, raise gear.
Here goes nothing.
What the?
Ben, what did you do? Ben! Ben! Are you alive?
I am, but I don't know about Ripburger.
I can see him. He's out cold. Climb back here, quick!
Okay, so Rip is hanging from the machine guns. So all we need to do to finish him off is deactivate the machine guns. So, defense menu, machine guns, control, system off.
Well, that answers that.
Done. Now we'll go inside.
Wait, come back! We need your weight in the plane!
So you only have a few seconds now before he drops, so all you need to do here is just use Ben's bike. And that is the game done.
Life was a game to him, and he played it by his own rules. He was a mystery to most of us, and yet an inspiration to us all. He gave us freedom. He gave us power. He gave us wings. He gave us wheels. Thank you, Malcolm Corley, for giving us a dream that will never die.
So, maybe we could do lunch sometime next week.
Yeah, sure. Lunch sounds great.
Things aren't gonna change, are they, Ben? I mean, just because I'm in charge of the company now, and living in a mansion and riding around in limos, that doesn't mean we won't spend a lot of time together, does it?
Look, Mo, you're in a different league now. You shouldn't be hanging out with the likes of me anymore.
But Ben... Oh, just a second. Hello? What? No, that's crazy. Is he nuts? Look, move the meeting up to 5 and tell the plant foreman that I'm coming over personally to inspect those parts. I know, that's what I told him. Excuse me, what was that last part? No, that alloy was flawed to begin with. Uh-huh, yeah, good, great.
In memory of Roy Conrad. Roy Conrad is the guy who did the voice of Ben, and he sadly passed away before this game was remastered, so nice that they dedicate the remaster to him. there you go, guys. That is Full Throttle. And Dave Grossman, a classic other LucasArts alumni, was had some writing jobs on this as well. But really, really amazing game. Seen as one of the all-time classic graphic adventures. And I can understand why, even though it is ludicrously short and ludicrously easy. Possibly the shortest, definitely the easiest LucasArts adventure game that there is. And yet it takes a real kind of strong narrative focus more than anything else. It's about atmosphere and storytelling and kind of... It was doing things with storytelling and narrative progression and things that games at the time weren't really doing that well. So I would say that in terms of narrative and stuff, it's probably this or Grim Fandango as the strongest of the LucasArts adventure games in my opinion. But there isn't really much else to say, to be quite honest. I absolutely love it. It's a game I can pick up and play anytime. Once you've done it once, you can complete it in an evening, and you just keep noticing like nice little kind of diesel punk and film noir kind of throwbacks and little details in it which are really nice. And even this ending, how Ben like quits his chance with Maureen and just rides off into the sunset on his bike is really kind of that sort of open-ended style I really like. And of course, now that he's on the screen, have to give a huge shout out to Mr. Mark Hamill, one of the greatest voice actors of all time, for his stunning performance as Adrian Ripburger in this game. That is pretty much it, you guys. There isn't really much else for me to say. I hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you very much for joining me for this playthrough of Full Throttle. If you haven't played it before and you were getting stuck, not that there's any chance of that, I hope this was useful to you. But yeah, thank you very much. If you did enjoy this and you want to show your support, please consider pressing the like button, leaving me a comment, letting me know what you think, subscribing for more similar content, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friends, and goodbye.